Chennai means culture. Chennai means conditioning. Chennai means cricket. Do you see where I'm going with this? Well, it's no surprise that the crowd here that comes to watch this sport really cherishes the sport above the sports persons. So yes, they cheer an Indian performance, an Indian win, but they equally applaud and salute a performance from the opposite camp. That's what makes cricket in this venue so very special. So in honor to that, the stadium here has sort of painted an entire wall from the gate, the main gate, right up to a huge stretch in dedication, in ode to some of the many beautiful memories that really mark the history and the iconic stature of this venue. So you've got pieces of wall that are dedicated to some of the top bowlers who have come here and really won hearts, whether it's Kapil Dev, the World Cup winning captain, or Bishan Singh Bedi, Harbhajan Singh, Anil Kumble. They're all here adorning these walls. And of course, some very key batting performances too, and performers with that. How can we forget Virender Sehwag and that unbelievable triple century he scored here? He's up on one of those walls. And immediately, when you see that, you think of that knock. When you speak about class and flamboyance, you can't really look past Sachin Tendulkar. He's on a wall up here, and immediately you think back to that heroic 136 against Pakistan, and a young Sachin crying inconsolably in one of the dressing rooms right here because India lost. When you see this graffiti, all those memories come springing up to your knowledge, to your minds. Of course, there's also a lot of pieces of that wall dedicated to the sons of the soil here, starting with Krishnamachari Srikanth, the hero here really, a part of the World Cup winning squad. There's of course one wall dedicated to our Ashwin. When he steps onto this ground here on Sunday, the crowd's going to get behind him. You're going to hear the loud cheers. And of course, when I speak about sons, I can't really look past this man. Started off as the adopted son, but he's really more than that now. The one man who's most cherished and loved here, MS Dhoni. Right from the exploits for India to Chennai Super Kings, which he still continues, a wall dedicated just to him. And that is special. And of course, what they've really capped it all off, and that's where you know that the people here who sort of take care of this venue really understand the sport, is there's a piece of wall just dedicated to the fans who come here. And it's those fans who make us relive all those memories. Those fans who make cricket all that much more special and significant. And that's where we know, and that's the mark of why this particular wall has come about, to sort of commemorate this World Cup match, because we are hoping that on Sunday you'll have another piece of memory, much like the ones adorning this wall, that will occur. Now we are at the nets here at the Chepauk Stadium. This is where both the teams have been sort of having their practices and some of their batting sessions in the lead up to the match on Sunday. Let's look at India first. Now they've come into this particular contest here in Chennai. They've come into Chennai lacking any sort of a warm-up. Both their matches sort of getting washed out. And the predictions though here is that there might be some showers. In fact, Chennai had a few showers late last night, and there is some prediction for some rain to hit this venue too. So that's a little bit of a worry, because we do want a contest. So what have the practice sessions looked like? The one big concern for India has been that Shubman Gill, one of their stars in the batting lineup, has not really been present during the net sessions. We hear that he is under the weather, he's unwell, and he's been constantly monitored by his side. That's one concern they'll be looking to overcome. Even if he does sit out of the first game, he is sure to come back for the next. But yes, that's one worrying sign. But apart from that, the entire squad has come out and had good sessions out in the middle here under the sun. You know, Virat Kohli, we heard, had an extended net session as well in these during the warm-up here. Hardik Pandya was here, and of course our Ashwin. He was rolling his arm, he was warming up, he was seen having a solid net sessions here. The other player who's so familiar in these parts, loved in these parts equally, and who had a good sort of practice session has been Ravindra Jadeja. We know that being a part of the Chennai Super Kings setup, he knows these conditions like the back of his hand. and a lot of the tracks here will play into the hands of these guys who have sort of played so much of cricket here. So the Indians, barring that of Shubman Gill, having quite a bat out here. Virat Kohli, of course, also getting some throwdowns from the coach, Rahul Dravid himself. They also spent some time inspecting the pitch here. That's a bit of an area that will pique both the teams' interest. KL Rahul probably didn't get that much time out in the middle, but he's had a good sort of a practice leading into this tournament with the Asia Cup. Now let's look at Australia. Now on the other hand, Australia has had a little bit of warm-up, though they came into this tournament on the back of a series loss against South Africa despite leading 2-0. That would have been disappointing. They do have a few concerns. Travis Head got injured in that series. You also had Ashton Agar picking up a niggle, which is why you only have Adam Zampa sort of taking charge of that spin unit for this side. A lot then will rely on Glenn Maxwell. All of them were seen having a good time here, playing a bit of rugby, having a bit of few laughs, because I think that team bonding is so much more critical. You also speak to so many people who follow Australia cricket, a lot of the cricketers who are part of that setup. A lot of how well they do in a big tournament like the World Cup relies a lot on their mindset, how they are as a unit, how charged they are. In fact, their bowling unit has looked good, led by a very experienced, a very lethal Mitchell Starc, who's taken a hat-trick and coming into this all charged up. A lot of these Aussies also know these conditions really well. They've played a lot of cricket here. They've been part of IPL seasons. Veterans like David Warner, Steve Smith, who had some very good catching sessions just last evening, will be key in sort of getting used to and adapting to these conditions and making that time out in the middle on Sunday really count. As we told in the last game, England versus New Zealand, a lot of the batting had to really stand up and deliver. Well, over here, the batting will have to really be that strong and be that solid, because their batting, both the batting sides will be tested. It isn't going to be an easy track out here, and all of these net sessions will be key. There's one aspect that we observed at the Australian team's net session. It's a net bowler bowling step. Now they tried picking up a bowler with R. Ashwin's bowling action, that bowler from Gujarat, and that didn't happen. They of course can't get the real deal to bowl to them at the next sessions to practice. So who do they get? An R. Ashwin namesake. And we caught up with him.
It's like, for me, it's the namesake. So I share the common namesake and also the same actually school and college. So myself also Ashwin Ravichandran. Not only so it was a good experience bowling to them. So yesterday I had a bowl at Maxwell. Then I bowled for Alex Carey as well as Stoinis. So myself being a Chinaman bowler, so they wanted to get accustomed to various spin bowlers. We are having a good bunch, with all varieties. So we have all varieties covered yourself as a part of the net bowlers.
It's the dream of every cricketer, the ultimate glory. Few manage to keep their date with destiny, but for many, it's been heartbreaks and a cross to bear. The Holy Grail is here in India. I'm Rupha Ramani, and Firstpost brings you the ringside view. We bring you the Cup of Dreams, Cricket World Cup coverage like never before.